Hello everyone, welcome to Commerce Classes. So today we'll be understanding how to solve a full-fledged question in final accounts. So let us see the question first. Now when we are reading the question, at the same time we should try to understand different categories and subcategories of the accounts. This will help us in understanding the format of the balance sheet that we shall be preparing. Like as you have seen that in balance sheet there are certain categories and subcategories of assets and liabilities which should be shown. However, we are not to write all the categories. We will be writing only the relevant categories. So for that matter we need to understand each and every account balance and see the category to which it belongs. And likewise, when we are reading the additional information, we must try to analyze its effect on these accounts. So wherever adjustment is given, we can either record the effect or we can put a mark there for our understanding and as a reminder that when I am taking up this transaction, then I know that there is some adjustment with this. Either it is written here or it is given as a point number. So I look at the additional information and adjust it. So that way we will not miss out on anything and we will not be having any mistakes in the accounting. Alright, so let us read the question first. So we are given stock. So it is a opening balance of the stock given to us because your year is closing on 31st March 2017. So it's the opening balance. Purchases, wages, debtors. So wages is an expense which comes under employees benefit expenses. Debtors is your current asset. Carriage inward is added with the purchases to find out cost of material purchased. We must remember cost of material purchased is the cost of purchase plus the amount that you spend to bring the purchase into your place of business. So carriage inward. Inward means you have paid this carriage amount to bring the goods into the business. So inward will be added with the purchases. Furniture is your fixed asset, salary, rent. Now salary is employee benefit expense. Rent will come under other expenses, general expenses. Dividend paid. So you have paid dividend including CDT, that is corporate dividend tax. So you need to appropriate this out of surplus. So we can either mark this with surplus, that this is to be adjusted in surplus. Likewise, carriage inward can be marked with purchases. So we need to know this when we are making the final statement. Computers is your fixed asset, cash and bank balance. Then patents is intangible fixed asset. So you have both tangible as well as intangibles. Then you have bill receivables, alright. Now on the credit balances we have sales. Purchase return will again be adjusted in the purchases. Discount. Now discount is a income of the company but it is not an operating income, it is other income. Creditors will be current liabilities, surplus will come under reserve and surplus, share capital of course, we know its nature, general reserve and bills payable. So bills payable will come along with the creditors in accounts payable. However, we must remember bill receivables is a kind of advance. Okay, so bill receivables come under short-term loans and advances and it is not clubbed with the accounts receivables. So there are certain things that we need to remember while preparing the balance sheet. Now coming to additional information. So we are given closing stock. So along with this stock we can write here number 1 closing stock is given, or we can put a mark here that this is to be adjusted from here, or you can write it number 1. Depreciate computers 15%, furniture 10%, patents 5%. So depreciation is there. We can easily write it here 15% computers, furniture 10% and patents 5%. Okay. So this is the adjustment. We have just marked it here. Make provision for bad debts 840. So in your debtors, you are to make a provision 840 is your provision. Then you have salary and rent outstanding 4,000 each. So outstanding belongs to current year. So salary will be added 4,000, rent is plus 4,000, outstanding amount. Then you have provision for taxes 40%. So we can write here provision for tax 40% for current year. The directors proposed dividend at the rate of 15% for current year and 5% of the profit is to be transferred to general reserve. Now a dividend proposed is not to be recorded in the final statements. It can only come as a note. So you will simply show it in the notes to balance sheet. Right? Then you are to make transfer 5% to general reserve. So here in the reserves we will be writing transfer 5% of current year profit. So out of your current year profits, you will be transferring 5% here. CDT ratio is given, but we don't need it because we are not declaring dividend. Had it been given that company has declared dividend, then you would have accounted for the same and CDT would have been provided. Now provide for manager's commission 10% of the profits before tax and commission. I hope you remember calculation of manager's commission because it is based on the profits. So when it is based on profit before tax and commission, so we simply calculate profit without tax and commission and the rate is applied. But if the same is given after commission, 10% of net profits before tax but after commission, that means you are to take up this rate on profits after commission. So when it is charging commission on net profits after commission, then we change the base. So ratio becomes 10 upon 110. And if it is after tax and commission, that means you are to consider profits after tax. So how much profit is left after tax? You are to provide for 40% tax. It means that your 10% rate of commission effectively comes out to be 6%. Because you will pay 40% of the profit as tax, so you will be left with only 60% of profit. So in a way, if your profit is 60%, so the 10% of that profit will be 6%. So when it is manager's commission after charging tax, then we take up changed rate. We change the rate. And if it is after commission, we change the base. However, in this problem, it is neither of these two. Now prepare final accounts. So after considering this problem, we are to prepare final accounts. In the preparation of final accounts, we need to make the formats first. So we will start with the balance sheet, books of so and so company. Balance sheet, so it is X Limited. So balance sheet as at 31st March 2017. So particulars, note number, because everything is to be shown through the notes. Now amount will be recorded in two columns, internal column for subcategories, then external column for the main categories. We can make one column also, and within this we can add up the amounts and then we can write the grand total. But we can do it in two columns also. Now coming to the categorization. I hope you remember the components of balance sheet. So liabilities are divided in two main categories, into two categories in each. That means you have four categories here: shareholders funds, share application money pending allotment, non-current liability, current liability. Likewise, assets have main two categorizations, then subcategories. So if we are to make a format of balance sheet, then our first heading is equity and liabilities. All right, which includes first shareholders funds, which includes share capital, reserve and surplus. No matter how many reserves you have or surplus is there, the overall aggregate balance is to be reported here. This is the beauty of this format, that we are not to record everything in a hodgepodge manner, but we are to record everything in a proper format. So totals will be done in the notes, and herein we will record the final amount. Now second category, when we read the question, we found this transaction is not there, so we will leave this. The next category is non-current liabilities. Initially we need to keep the categories and subcategories handy with us. Once we solve a few questions, then these will be learned and then you can easily record them. Now, do we have long-term liability, long-term borrowing? So, when we saw here, there is no debenture or long-term loan, etc., which means that we do not have any non-current liabilities. So, we could have got away with leaving this category also. Okay, so deferred tax liability, there is no long-term liability here. So, third category, current liability. These are three main categories, but if something is not there, if any category is not having any amount, we can leave that also. Now in the current liabilities, we have short-term borrowings. When we look at credit side, we don't have any borrowings. Then we have trade payable, of course, we have trade payables here. Then other current liabilities. Other current liabilities includes outstanding expenses, etc., income tax payable, CDT payable. So you have here outstanding salary and rent. It means we need to record other current liabilities as a subcategory. Short-term provision will always be there because we will be providing for tax. Alright. So what we can say here is that in all these categories, some amounts are always there. We don't need to look for them. But there are certain categories which are rarely seen in a full-fledged question. So we need to check those and then only they will be recorded in the balance sheet. Like here in money received against share warrant, it is rarely seen. Application money pending allotment, it's not always there in a question, right? Then here in long-term provision, deferred tax, these are usually not there. Now coming to asset side, so we'll make the total here. So categories will be totaled up and now total equity and liabilities. Alright. Now second is assets. Now when we look at assets, our first main category is non-current assets, which includes fixed assets. Within the fixed assets, we have four categories. Tangible. So we are given tangible assets. Intangible is also given in this question. Right? Patents. Okay. So intangible is also there. Then you have tangible and intangible assets in the making, which are in the process of making, which are not given in this question. Then you have non-current investment, deferred tax assets, long-term loans. Alright, so if any such thing is given in the question, we'll write the subcategory. Now next is current assets. In the current assets, the main categories which are always there in a question are inventory, trade receivables, cash and cash equivalent, and if any expenses which are unexpired are given, then other current assets will be there. Now short-term loans and advances are usually there because we pay advance taxes. But we should look for this. Sometimes we do not have any advances, and same is the case with the current investment. So certain categories are always there, but some needs to be checked in the question. So current investment, there is no investment, neither short term nor long term. So we'll be having inventories, trade receivables, cash and cash equivalents. Now short-term loans and advances, we are not given those, okay, but our bill receivables qualify under this. So we have bill receivables, so short-term loans and advances will also come. Then you have the last category, other current assets. So do we have any unexpired expenses here? Like preliminary expenses, discount on issue of shares, etc. No. Alright. So these categories will be totaled up here and finally we will total up the amount here. So this will be total assets. So that completes the format, but we'll have to record these things one by one through the notes. So share capital 1, reserve and surplus 2. It is not there. Trade payable 3, 4, 5. Tangible, intangibles 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, so these are the categories here. Now coming to the second component of our final accounts, that is a statement of profit and loss for the year ended 31st March 2017. Amounts column, note number, because same presentation is there. Amounts are to be written in aggregate. Okay, serial number, particulars. Now, number one category here is income from operations or revenue from operations. That means revenue from sale of goods and services. Then you have other income, like the company may be receiving in the form of incomes like interest received, dividend received, rent received, discount received, commission received. These are all your other income. These are not from operation. Your main operation is sale of goods and services. So other income will be recorded here. So that will give you total revenue. Okay. So this is just the total. Now here in 12 and 13, then you have expenses. Expenses includes number one, cost of material consumed, which includes cost of material purchased and change in the inventories. Change in inventories implies that change in opening stock and closing stock of finished goods, raw material, work in progress, all. Alright, so 14 and 15. Then other categories are staff benefit expenses. Then you have finance cost. Finance cost is interest on debentures, long-term loans. Since we are not having any non-current liability, long-term borrowing is not there, finance expense is not there. Though we can give the category. Okay, so it will be put as nil. Next category is depreciations and amortization. Now, if any category is not there, we can delete that also. Alright. So 16, 17. So we can leave this finance expenses. Then you have all other expenses coming under other expenses. Alright. So this will give you total expense. So next component is net profit before tax. Now, whenever you have any extraordinary or exceptional transaction, then these are not recorded here, whether it is an exceptional income or expense. So we are not recording these in this category. So if any exceptional or extraordinary transaction is given, we will say this is a profit before exceptional and extraordinary transaction. Then we will adjust that, and after that we will be writing net profit before tax. And then tax expense will be provided for. Now tax expense includes provision for current year, then adjustment for the previous year if any, like in this problem we do not have any provision for tax of the last year or tax liability. It means everything has been settled. So it is only for the current year, and if any deferred tax liability is given, it will also be recorded. Alright, so provision will be provided for, and this will give you net profit after tax. And then EPS can be calculated at the basic rate, that is net profit after tax upon number of shares. See, herein we have two type of earning per share, basic and diluted. When we consider diluted EPS, therein we need to see overall capital that the company is going to have after any kind of promises or contract that they have made with the debenture holders or preference shareholders to convert their holdings into equity. So when we look at the long-term capital that the company is going to have, and we consider that in the calculation of EPS, then it becomes diluted EPS. But right now we will be just taking basic EPS. Alright, so these are the two formats. Now we are to start with the notes. So our number one is share capital. Alright. So we'll start with directly notes to balance sheet, because this is how it is to be done. So we just make the format and then start making calculations. Number one is share capital. So what is given in the capital? there is no detail given. Otherwise, we could have written authorized capital this much, issued capital this much. So, no detail. So, we just have here share capital of 4 lakh. Okay, so we will write authorized, issued, subscribed, called and paid capital of 40,000 shares of 10 rupees each. This is our assumption because we are not given the face value. So we could have written only 4 lakh also. It is up to us. So share capital is 4 lakh. Second is reserve and surplus. Now in the reserves and surplus, we have general reserve. So we'll first record all the types of reserves. Now in this reserve, we are to make transfer from surplus, which is 5% of current year profits. But we can do that only once we have calculated profit. Alright, so leave it for the time being. Then you have surplus balance also. So this we are using 4 lakh, we have used 62,000. So 4 lakh, okay, surplus is 60,000. Alright, now we will be adding current year profit herein. Then we are to make deductions for the appropriations, that is transfer to general reserve. And in case we can remember here, we had dividend paid with CDT. So this is also to be appropriated. So 36,000 will be appropriated. Now these two amounts are not yet known, so we can leave them for the time being. Okay. So just remember, we have to put the notes, and wherever something is not available, just leave it. Move ahead. We'll get back to this once we have calculated the profit. Now trade payable. Now what are the trade payables given? We are looking at the equities and liabilities, so we should look here majorly. So your trade payables include creditors. So you have creditors 70,000, bills payable 28,000. So total is 98,000. Alright, so we can put it here 98,000. Other current liabilities. So your outstanding expenses and all. So you have salaries and rent outstanding 4,000 each, or if we look here, we have 4,000 outstanding. So outstanding rent 4,000, outstanding salary 4,000, that makes a total of 8,000. Alright, and any other liability herein? Yes, manager's commission. We were given that provide for manager's commission at the rate of 5%. So manager's commission is to be provided at the rate of, sorry, not 5, it is 10% of current year profit before tax. So we need to calculate this. So we are left here. Leave provisions. Now short-term provisions, we do not have any provision here in the question, but we know that we are to provide for tax. So short-term provision will include provision for income tax, which is to be given at 40%, at the rate of 40% of current year profits. Again, this is not yet available because something is based on profit, so which we will be doing once we are done with this. Okay, so leave it for the time being. Sixth is tangible fixed assets. So tangible fixed assets, of course, we know. If we look here, stock, purchases, wages. So we have got furniture 68,000, computers 1,16,000, and patents is your intangible, so it won't come here, a total for this. Now we know the adjustment alongside: furniture 10% depreciation and computers 15% depreciation. Alright, so you have got 17,400, that means the balance is 61,200 and 98,600. So the total of these tangible assets will be 1,59,800. So this will be recorded here. tangible fixed assets 1,59,800. Now coming to, see here, opening balance, depreciation 10%, depreciation 15% as per the information. So balance is this much. Now intangible fixed assets. Okay, so in intangibles we have just patents. Patents are given 19,200 with 5% depreciation or amortization. So less amount to be amortized 5%. So that will make it 960. So you are left with 18,240. So this will be put here, 18,240. Next is inventories. So let us take up the inventories. So look at the question. This was opening stock given to us and your closing stock is 3,56,000. So we can write inventories number 8. Closing stock 3,56,000. Now sometimes loose tools are also given which are valued at the end of the year. So loose tool valued will also be included in the inventories for the purpose of balance sheet. Alright, no other adjustment in this. So this can be directly taken. Trade receivables. Your trade receivables include your debtors. So you have debtors given to you. If we look here, debtors are 1,50,000, but we are to make a provision for bad debts 840. So that makes it 1,49,160. All right. Now trade receivables 1,49,160. Then you have cash and cash equivalents. Cash and cash equivalents. So what do we have here? Cash and bank balance. So even if we do not have any adjustment, we need to give it in the notes. Reason being, our Companies Act requires us to prepare balance sheet in this format. Now short-term loans and advances will include any kind of loans or advances that you have taken and bill receivables. So 20,000 of bill receivables, it is 20,000. All right. So asset side is complete, but in liabilities there are some missing points that we will take up once we have done with the statement of profit and loss. Now in this statement, we have to start with revenue from operations. So look at the revenues here. Now we should mark those things out which we have adjusted. That way, when we are looking here, our attention will be diverted or it will be directed towards only those things which need attention. Okay, and we are not reading again and again those accounts which we have already adjusted. So when I look here, I know that these things are to be adjusted. So I'll just concentrate on these and not on everything. Here I am left with these things. Okay, creditors have also been taken. Bills payable have already been adjusted. Now, revenue from operations. So when I look here, I have only three things here: sales, purchase return and discount. So sale is your revenue from operation. So we'll be taking revenue from operations. That includes sales revenue 13,60,000. We do not have any sales return. So it can directly be taken 13,60,000. Okay. Next, other income. So other income is, you have purchase return which will be adjusted in purchases. So you are left with discount only. So other income includes discount of 12,000. So this will be written. Now as per the guidelines provided for preparation of balance sheet, any kind of income, be it discount or commission or interest or rent, they are your other incomes. So they should be adjusted here. So you see, your question may seem lengthy, but we are in the process of completing this step by step. Now, cost of material purchased. So, cost of material purchased implies purchases plus the amount that you pay to bring them into the business. So, 9,80,000 was your purchase. All right. Then you have two adjustments with this returns. So, purchase return 40,000, that gives you 9,40,000. Then another adjustment is carriage inward. So, this is the expense that you paid to bring it into the business. So, 9,44,000 is your cost of material purchased. All right. Now, change in inventories. So, change in inventories imply opening stock and closing stocks difference. That will be for final goods, for work in progress, for raw materials, etc. So, all these will be taken. Now, we just have opening stock 3 lakh less closing stock 3,56,000. So, change in inventories is 56,000 on the negative side. Okay, so it will be written with a bracket. Next is staff benefit expenses. Staff benefit expenses include staff salaries, wages, directors' remuneration. So, whosoever is on the payroll, their expenses will be written here. If your directors are not on the payroll, but you give them some amount as a, you can say, as a regard. Okay, so they are not on your direct payroll, so it won't come here. But usually they are on the payroll. So if nothing is given, directors' amounts are included here. So staff benefit expenses will include, if we look here, salary 30,000 plus outstanding salary 4,000. So 34,000. All right. Now next is manager's commission, managing director or manager's commission. Now this is based on 10% of the profits before commission, but we are not knowing profits right now. It means we cannot write it also, but we need to know the profit. So I'll just record it here 34,000 roughly with pencil, because this is there along with manager's commission. So manager's commission will be calculated and then the total will be written. But right now I know that apart from that 34,000 is still there. Then depreciations and amortizations. So depreciation and amortization. So if you look at your question, you had provided for depreciation on furniture 6,800. Depreciation on computers 17,400 and amortization of patents 960. So that makes the total of 25,160. So we can put it here, depreciation and amortization 25,160. Other expenses. Now look at other expenses, next category. So see what type of expenses are left here. Now we have taken up stock also. Wages 1,20,000. I think we missed that here. So wages is a part of your staff expenses. So wages 1,20,000. So 1,54,000 will be coming here. Okay, now wages we have considered, carriage inward we have considered, rent is there. So other expenses will include rent 16,000 plus outstanding rent 4,000, that means 20,000. Then you have general expenses 28,000. Okay, rest of the things have been adjusted, isn't it? So you have got 48,000. Okay, so 48,000 other expenses, we will record it here, 48,000. Now this will give you total of the expenses. So roughly we will calculate in the working notes, total income 13,72,000 and total expenses without commission. Okay, because we haven't calculated it. So total expenses will be taken up from here. We have recorded these expenses like this. This is without commission. So we'll adjust it later on. Now total expenses are coming out to be 11,16,000. Okay, so your profit before commission is 2,56,000. That means commission is going to be 10% of this profit, 25,600. Now if we take this commission into consideration, then our staff benefit expenses will be, just write commission here, 1,79,600. Okay, so we have now written the amount properly. Now total up all the expenses. So your total expenses after this, $11,41,600, which means your profit before tax will be income minus expenses. So your net profit is going to be 2,30,400. Now on this we are to provide for tax at the rate of 40%. So tax at the rate of 40% is coming out to be 92,160, which means 1,38,240 is your profit after tax. For EPS calculation, if we assume shares par value to be 10, so number of shares is 40,000. So it will be 1,38,240 upon 40,000. So just solve it. That gives you 3.456, or rounded off to 3.46. So EPS can be calculated. Now we have done this. Now we are to fill in the information at the relevant places wherever amounts were missing. Okay, so if we look here in the balance sheet, reserve and surplus we are to determine. So how much is our current year profit? We have calculated. Current year profit is 1,38,240. Okay, so 1,38,240. Now herein we are to record 5% of the amount to be transferred to general reserve. Alright, so profit is to be written in the current year profits. Now 5% of this will be transferred to general reserve. So 5% is coming out to be 6912. So this will be written here. So this will be added here in the reserve. So your reserve will be 68,912, and your surplus will now be, after all this adjustment, your surplus is going to be 1,55,328, making a total of 224,240. Alright, so reserve and surplus 2,24,240. Next is other current liabilities. Now in the other current liabilities, manager's commission was to be reported, which we have calculated at 25,600. Manager's commission 25,600. So this will be taken. That makes 33,600 as the amount. So your other current liabilities 33,600. Short-term provision. Now short-term provision is, provision for income taxes 92,160. So this will be reported. So 92,160. So now we can total up the balance sheets amounts. So the total of first category is 6,24,240. Total of second category is 2,23,760. So that makes a total of 8,48,000. Now total of this first subcategory in the current in the asset side. All right, then you total up the next category. So it is 6,69,960. When you total up this, 8,48,000. All right, so this is how we prepare final accounts of a company. We have to first make the format and start preparing the notes to balance sheet for each and every amount that we need here. And wherever we think information is not available right now, just leave the space and then you come back to that once you have calculated the profit. I hope this is clear to you. Thank you.